who are national team players but still have some time left as Bruin players as well.
Wow.
But it doesn't matter.
Great start.
In the opener here, and the try scored by UCLA, and that is Dorian Glahn, who you mentioned as a player that was identified by Coach Harry Bennett.
Yeah, it seemed like Nathan Bell did the majority of the work there. You know, it's good, strong carry, and then the wherewithal to kind of get that offload onto a supporting Bruin.
We can talk about dangerous players all day long, and you know, we just saw one in the form of Angelo Reviglio from USC, who has really become an impressive force unto himself. But teams don't make it into the last game of a tournament unless they can play defense, Brett.
Absolutely. You know, I would be one to kind of harp on defense all day. You know, like, obviously possession is the most important part of the game, but defense is a way that helps you get possession. You know, putting pressure on the attack to make them make decisions, kind of controlling the game. I think that's how you can control the game, is when you're on defense.
High kickoff. Nobody there for UCLA. So
wow.
A great clean out. Nobody home for the Beavers in support. And just like that, UCLA.
Thundering tackle into a very powerful clean out here by, who was that? Number 7, Nathan Bell.
Yeah, Bell.
The Aussie.
Well,
he's done that before.
Bell cleans up the ball carrier so well that there's nobody left in the surrounding area wearing an orange and brown shirt to help out. It's a free ball. It's an easy try. And UCLA looks like maybe they're starting to actually find themselves as well. Little shaky start. Now look, we talked about USC and that they're legit, but UCLA is normally a little bit more polished. 10-0. Game 2, Pool B, Pac Rugby Sevens Championship.
I think that point you were making earlier about just being a little polished, like as you mentioned, they've lost a few significant players, and that's obviously hard to kind of fill in the gaps when you're losing special players like that. So it is maybe, again, kind of using that term, the rebuilding year, but maybe not even that. Just kind of finding who you are as a team again once you lose such a star player like Lucas Acamp and the Berries.
Hold it. What's up?
So on the attack is Alex Cortezes. The ball knocked forward by Glahn in the tackle. And so Oregon State going to get a chance. They do have some finishers as well, do the Beavers, but haven't had a whole lot of ball to use right now. We saw Nico Dreyer, who's got some pace. He's out on the corner now. He'd have to beat Glahn, who he's head-to-head with right now. Pressure from the Bruins, but the Beavers get the ball back. A little bit bobbled there. Contest at the breakdown. It's a little bit sloppy. And a knock-on forced by the pressure from UCLA. And you got a sense that Harry Bennett maybe had a talking to with the Bruins after the first game and said, boys, a little bit more intensity.
Yeah.
You know, we're not just going to show up from Westwood and get immediate, you know, automatically into a semifinal.
Exactly, and you can see Oregon State seems a little bit more shell-shocked than they were in that first game, you know, and maybe the warm-up was a little bit too long. They appreciate just that 20-minute warm-up coming off the bus.
That's Sam Reed. You talked about him through head coach Harry Bennett's comments. He looks up to the right, sees nobody, and decides just to do it all himself. Easy day.
Good little
easy
outside
try.
Step.
Yep.
Straighten up, fix the defender, step off the outside foot, or step to the outside. Burn him for the try.
It's a game of all shapes and sizes. We joked a little bit about Jack Breslin from Arizona, 6'4" body. He's probably carrying about 230 pounds. And then you got a guy like this, Sam Reed, 5'6", the freshman from Mill Valley. And you got to have guys of all types, shapes, and sizes, luckily, because otherwise I would never have been a rugby player. I'm more of the Sam Reed build. I'm actually kind of like a hybrid, but about Sam Reed's height. And
I'll give you a Reviglio.
I'm somewhere between a Reed and a Reviglio.
No, exactly. I mean, those are the guys generally that can be a little bit more the playmakers or kind of the, big ball carriers, or kind of guys who are really effective in the breakdown when they're a little bit shorter. Guys like myself, kind of tall and rangy, it's really harder for me to kind of be side to side and agile. So, yeah, you need a dynamic squad, both like in skill set and also kind of in athleticism and height and weight.
We often say rugby is a game of all shapes and sizes, and normally that's true for 15s. There's a few body types that don't necessarily work out on a sevens field, but rugby is a game basically for all comers, and it's one of the reasons why it's so popular. And
absolutely.
Speaking of popular, Cade Carter's pretty popular on this UCLA Bruins team. He scored a couple of tries in the first game. Sam Reed looks outside, finds Glon, and he'll go in for another try.
Yeah,
well, it's kind of like you scripted this. You talked about Sam Reed and Dorian Glon, and they've kind of put on a show.
Yeah.
It's good work. It's great research.
Yeah, exactly.
Brett Thompson is doing his homework, and maybe I'm just, when it's time to hand out the raises, it's maybe think about Thompson's work here today.
I've been able to watch yourself and the great Colin Hawley over the years, so I've definitely been taking my notes, that's for sure.
Yeah, Colin Hawley probably will never get this message, but our colleague from the Pac-12 Network, Colin Hawley, a longtime analyst for the game of rugby, is saying his vows right now in Lake Tahoe in what I can only assume they thought would be a beautiful fall day, and 60 inches of snow fell on Lake Tahoe in the last week. So hopefully his groomsmen all know how to work a shovel. We'll be back to talk more rugby. It is UCLA up by 20.
We're staying up late with Pac-12 After Dark. Tonight, following the last game of the day.
Angie's List is losing the list. From now on, it's just Angie.
So what happens to all the people that needed the list?
Oh yeah, everything still works. We just made it better. We even let you book services instantly now.
Start your home project at Angie.com.
Pac-12 Hour Stories takes you behind the curtain, bringing you the most compelling and emotional stories from around the Conference of Champions.
When you think about Title IX, you can't not think about the impact she had on the sports realm.
Pac-12 Hour Stories. Watch the latest episode anytime on Pac-12 Now.
Just a game changer.
And it's in the back of the net.
She gave that ball what it deserved.
Expect to be in the NCAA tournament every single year.
Diving stop.
You can tack out another point.
That was an amazing play.
The Pac-12 royalty.
The Huskies are up. An offensive dynamo.
The Cal Bears have won the national championship.
Phenomenal power. Fired to the back of the net.
These are the best teams in the country.
UCLA up by 20 over the Oregon State Beavers after first half.
You guys ready?
UCLA looking a little bit more polished than their first match as they prepare for the final match of the day against Arizona, which we'd assumed at the beginning of the day would be the battle for the top of this pool. It still looks like it's going to play out that way.
Oh, tough call, I think, there. Looked like a knock-on from UCLA, and the Beaver was on his way for a try, but
sometimes the breaks aren't going your way.
Yeah, exactly.
And sometimes it takes the bounce of the ball.
Hey, it's tough as a ref, especially in these situations where you got your support on the sides, and maybe they saw something we didn't.
Wide ball, Dorian Glahn is left wide open. All eyes.
Oh, no. Oh, he dropped it. Unlucky.
Dorian Glahn. This is a rookie mistake. And he's a senior. You can't do this as a senior. You can do this as a freshman, Dorian.
Yeah.
Oh, put the ball down. This is
getting excited for basketball season coming up.
Yeah, I mean, he's that is
crouch.
There you go, taking up after his UCLA basketball program.
That's right, you're not allowed to dribble the ball in goal. Oh, the kick and chase. So Oregon State's tried everything else, and this time it's Dawson Tarrant who boots it downfield, but ultimately gives possession back to Dorian Glahn, who's looking to redeem himself. Glahn gets bottled up by Dreyer on the corner.
Not releasing.
Wow.
And he holds on to the ball.
Great poach there by Oregon State.
Glahn having a regrettable minute. It's all right. He had a great first half. Oh no, speaking of regrettable minutes, it's Gabriel Giorgio.
That's a tough thing, right? You want to look up and see what's in front of you, but you know, first things first, you got to catch the ball.
He drops it, and then he gets subbed out.
Oh, yeah.
It's like you, out of the game.
The mullet.
You can't catch the ball, have a seat.
There's some impressive mullets here this weekend. You know, usually back in the day when I had a mullet, it was like one of those fashionable Euro mullets. Now it's like they're going.
I know. I think
Joe Dirt.
Some of these you're calling mullets are just like out of control hairdos. I don't think they're intentional mullets.
Hold it.
Can you have an unintentional mullet?
Yeah, I guess.
Apparently, yes, says our stage manager, Anton Malco. Mine was intentional, and it was hideous.
Well, that's the idea, right? It's like, I don't really, I'm fun. I don't really care what I look like because I'm just fun. I'm cool.
Logan Turner. Oh, he takes the ball backwards for 3 steps, and while the Oregon State defense resets, he goes forward. Everyone else is going sideways. Logan Turner.
Honestly, it's amazing.
Watch this.
Stop, start. Straight under the sticks. See that? It's funny how often that actually works. It's like the hesitation, kind of like, oh hey, we're resetting, and then he just noticed space in front of him and then just went. Because the defense in those moments as well are kind of like, okay, what's happening? Maybe you have him, maybe you have him. So maybe a strategy moving forward for UCLA. Let's see.
The strategy of jogging backwards.
Yeah,
I love it. Whatever
There's no
works,
pressure on you, right?
Apparently, it works against Oregon State.
Yeah.
So Martini adds the extras, and now we'll kick off to Oregon State. A good ball, but really no competition there from UCLA. Either boot the ball deep, in my opinion, and play defense, or make it competitive. But kind of that ball that is the half and half ball where you let him get a clean catch. I mean, it works out because Oregon State can't clean up their breakdown.
Circle, roll away. Don't touch.
Yeah, it seems like UCLA is playing 7-up defense, which is hard for any TAC to play against. And, you know, we saw number 10 for the Beavers in this game and last game, Dawson Taron, try to put it in behind. And, you know, maybe they need to do that moving forward just to alleviate some pressure.
Well, Pat O'Day had Terrence Van Tool outside of him and decided to go himself. Great dish.
Great footwork.
There he is, O'Day. Ball at the back. And the try scored by UCLA. And so they extend their lead. Some of this, too, if you go against weaker opposition in a pool game and you're getting ready for what you think is going to be probably your most competitive game of the day, right now is the time that you're working on fundamentals. You're trying to get your pattern right. You're trying to get all the kicking right, the timing right. And largely, this kind of match for UCLA is going to be in preparation for their next match. Not that they're overlooking their opponents, but it's a sizable lead with not a whole lot of time left on the clock. And right now, what you're doing is trying to make sure that you're going through the pattern correctly.
Yeah, exactly. This is a lead that's insurmountable, and as you mentioned, the most important games for UCLA are in front of them. So just getting
Jackson Davis turns one over.
Knock on.
The knock on. So UCLA going to get the ball back. Some stingy defense.
Yeah, if you think about numbers, right? Like if you're not contesting the breakdown, one tackled player tackles one defender tackles an attacker, so they have one guy on the ground, and then as an attack you have to commit 2 more, which is a guy who clearing out, and then a scrum half. So automatically you have 3 in that breakdown area. In the defense, after they make that tackle, they don't have to commit anybody, so you're immediately numbers down, and you got to make a defense respect in behind and play with a sweeper.
And Sasha Martini could have gone himself. Instead tries to dish it out to Pat O'Day and throws the ball past his hand. Oregon State with the ball. Camus Roach trying to get something going on his own.
Not released.
And Oregon State late to the breakdown again. Too many Bruins there to defend and contest. They'll win the ball back. Good wide ball out to number 12, Matthew Crow. And Crow in and out. Had Matthew Poles outside of him. Can't get the ball out. Martini.
Nice pass.
Good ball to Logan Turner. And now here's Will Sherman. And Sherman, he's got the legs. He'll put one down for the Bruins to finish this game on a high note.
Yeah, unlucky for Oregon State there. We thought we almost had one there for him, and support wasn't quick enough to the breakdown and a turnover, and ended with UCLA with another try.
A lot of respect I have for a team like Oregon State. They're going to come to this contest a heavy underdog. They still get in the bus. They still make the drive from Corvallis, and they still show up to represent their school, and you got to love that. And that's a lot of what this game is about. It's not just about winning tournaments. It's about getting together with your best friends and representing your school. And these are unforgettable moments. And win or lose, you're going to have stories that you'll always remember from moments like this. But it's UCLA, heavy victors over the Oregon State Beavers. Sets up a good one for the last match of the day. We'll be back for more rugby.